Good morning everybody, wakey wakey, it's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning everybody, wakey wakey, it's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning everybody, wakey wakey, it's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning everybody, wakey wakey, it's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going.
Good morning to you. It is a Monday. Actually, it is the 20th day of February 2023. You're currently tuned into the best and the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya. This is the place where all the most important conversations happen. And today I have a lady and a gentleman. They come from a group called Youth For Impact Nandi. These are guys who've come together to advocate for good governance among other issues in society. So this is a C.B.O that brings the young people together, what we call unity for purpose, just to make sure that their county does better than it's doing right now. But then before we go there, jo umeangalia luku bana. Kipetaka shati nzuri kama yangu, tembea D-Square. D-Square is a fashion house, but beyond that, they now have a school of fashion and design. If you're interested in fashion and design, consider walking into D-Square School of Fashion and Design. They are situated in Eldoret, Ketia's 4th floor. Hapo ndo unapata D-Square, both the fashion house and the school. The sweetness of studying at D-Square is that pale wako na shule na pia wako na ile fashion house. So that means that you get real life experience of making sure that actually you are able to practice what you're taught in class. Nonetheless, this show is coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. It is the best photography in town. If you're looking for a place where you will have some nice experience before the camera and also well-documented memories, consider working with Dawi Afrique Photography. Welcome to the Morning Glory Show. The Morning Glory Show starts now. Remember, as I said, it is the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya. And by the way, if you're already tuned in, let me know where you tuned in, because I'll be sampling some of those comments. Also, if you have questions to my guests, then feel free to shoot the questions to them. I'll start with Kibor Michael. He's a friend of mine. He's been a friend for some time. Say hi to our viewers and also give a proper introduction of yourself.
Good morning. My name is Kibor Michael. I'm a youth from this region, born in Nandi, but I'm fed up also in Nandi, but trying to hustle in Eldoret. Yes, so we are basically here today to shed some light on whatever we are doing. It has been a dream for some time, but now it is the right time that the reality is actually realized. And to our audience who are watching us today, I believe it will be one of the most interactive sessions with us. We are here to give you what you don't know about us, what is our plan for the future, and the future for, I mean when we normally say a good country, they don't prepare, they don't plan for the future of the young people. They actually prepare the young people for the future. And we told ourselves it is high time that we need to change the conversation. We will no longer be on the receiving end. We will always be on the high table discussing matters of the young people, charting the way forward for the young people. And that is why we are here today with my colleague to actually do the same. And I'm looking forward to a good show, an interactive one, an educative one, and I believe we are ready for this.
Okay, I'm sure one of the things they advocate for is gender equity. With us also is a lady. She's called Juddy Chebet. Karibu sana Judy. Give a proper introduction of yourself and also say hi to our viewers.
Good morning. My name is Juddy Chebet from Nandi County. We are part and parcel of the Youth For Impact Nandi County. Our main aim is to reach out the many youths outside. We have a variety of objectives. We have objectives from leadership and governance all the way to environmental conservation issues. We are dealing with all the things that we youths have the capacity to do. And our coming together as youths is a unity of purpose. We really want an umbrella which all of us as youths can be able to agitate for anything, be it the political, social, or economical. We all need something that can voice out everything that we want to do as youths. And that is the idea behind the Youth For Impact Nandi County. Youth For Impact is an idea whose time has come. Being a youth is something that has a deadline. And actually we as youths of our time, in 10 years to come, other people will be occupying the same position we are. So if we as youths don't do anything at this particular time, then our time is lapsing and we will end up being the same way we are. There is no way for others coming after us, and there is no direction for us who are in this stage at now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I can tell you, quite powerful introduction. That tells you that it's going to be a very beautiful conversation. nonetheless, if you're already on the broadcast, I told you, tell me where you're tuned in from. I can see already there is somebody called Mildred Sum says he's tuned in. Asbel Kimbaya, as usual, following the show. Thank you so much for always making time to be with us. I can see Hosea Changleit saying greetings and peace of Christ. Hey, mchungaji. Ribo Neema says she's tuned in. Good morning to you, Neema. Asante sana kwa kutengeza muda kunakuwa pamoja na sisi. I'll be sampling more comments as we continue, but then when we talk of young people, of course, before we go far, I saw you at an event during the weekend. Kibor, tell us about the event. What was it, bro?
As my colleague said, when we talk about the affirmative groups, young people are actually part of it. And she told you so well that we have an expiry date. And our expiry date is always at the age of 35. So on Saturday, that was the 18th of this month, we came together with all the young people from Nandi, and also, of course, diaspora, because we also had some young people from Nairobi, from Wasingishu, who came and joined us at the Koitalel University College. We had an event, which was our first inaugural summit. And during our summit, we had a number of topics that we discussed, which are mainly actually, those are our objectives. One of them she mentioned so widely, the issue of the environmental conservation and the climate change. It is a hot issue as we talk. Even the president himself is actually advocating on the issue of the climate change. And we, the young people, cannot be left behind. We have to be part of this. It is an issue that we need to sort it out. So being the highest population in the world, I mean, those are the young people, about 70%. I mean, we have to play this role. Number two, we had the issue of leadership and governance. And during that day, we were able to dissect and actually identify the entry point of the young people into matters leadership and governance. How can we participate on matters leadership and governance in terms of public participation, doing memorandums, trying to do a number of ideas, proposals to the government. I mean, when we talk of leadership in Kenya, mostly it is more of political. So we were trying to actually give space for the young people. That is it. Another one that came was the issue of sports management. And at least we got an expert who actually talked about the sports and the recreational activities, how now the young people can make money out of it. Because siku ni kwamba, we need something in our pockets. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. As you can see, this is a very serious conversation. With me in studio, of course, for those who just joined in, are two young people from Nandi County. They're actually officials of an organization called Youth For Impact Nandi. This is just a C.B.O. comprising of young people coming together for to just foster unity for purpose, be it in politics, climate change, and whatever happens in their community. Now, Judy, this is a question so many people are used to getting it at the end of the interview. But then for us, it comes in as the first one. Where do you see yourselves in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
Okay, in the next 2, 3, or the next plans we have, we really hope for a big organization, something that will converge every other youth in Nandi County, and we hope to go beyond Nandi County. This is because when you finish studies, there is no one who will teach you the basic things. Nobody will talk to you about the financial literacy. Nobody will talk to you about those two small things. Personally, when I completed school, I knew nothing about the county governments. Nobody is coming in to fill that gap. Actually, most youths are not informed. Despite the fact that we have the social media platforms, we have the smartphones, those avenues are not present for youths to learn more. So it will be more sincere when we come in and talk of the few issues that we think are of importance, but nobody's addressing them. When you complete school, the next thing you do is to look for a job, or maybe there's those small things that matter. we are looking forward to something very, very progressive for youths. We wouldn't want an event where youths are used after every 5 years for campaigning. Most platforms, if you analyze the avenues we visit as youths, we are political, purely political, nothing else. We are not topping up anything. Nobody is taking up the free courses online. Our youths are jobless. Nobody is venturing into freelancing and other things that are very much available on social media. Nobody is visiting those sites whereby they learn more about finances. Nobody is talking about the mental health issues. And that is why we want to actualize these things. We want to meet. We want to have a very genuine conversation with our youths. And by sparing that little time to meet these youths, by sparing that that opportunity to go off the social media platforms and meet face to face, we talk these issues. I mean, in the next 5 years, we believe we are going to have a more educated society, a more society of actualization of everything that is beyond what is on paper, matters that concern us mostly. So in the next 5 years, our aim is an educated society, a very much educated and practical society, not a society of words, not a society of no actions. Thank you.
Okay, and Kibor, I'll be coming back to you. Nandi County is one of those counties that actually have elected young people massively. Look at the governor. He was elected when he was barely 30. You look at even the current speaker is a young person. Look at the MCS, so many of them so young. Your women rep is a young person. Does this mean that maybe we have better leadership now that we used to be told vijana ni viongozi wa kesho? Now I think in Nandi County you're actually actualizing it and saying kesho ishafika. What is happening in Nandi County, bro?
Okay, in Nandi County we are basically leading by example. And the beauty about this is that this is not the first time, as you can remember. From 17, we actually had the youngest governor. We had the youngest speaker, the youngest MCA, Cynthia Muge by then, the youngest senator, that was Samson Cherargei by then. And it is a motivation to us, the young people, that this thing is actually so possible. As we normally say, opportunities do favor a prepared mind. And by then, when those opportunities, after the promulgation of the new constitution in 2010, when all those positions were created, these were the prepared minds by then. So what we are doing under the Youth for Impact, we are trying to prepare these minds so that if any opportunity comes on the way, they'll be able to grab those opportunities without actually thinking twice, because they'll be ready. It is more of capacity building. There's nothing that beats information. You know, when you are informed, you are in a better position. I remember when you were in that forum. Let me divert a bit. At some point, we were talking about the financial literacy. There is some sort of funding. You know, the young people, the women, and the PWDs, they have a lot of allocated funding from the government. So for the young people, we have the WEZO, the Youth Enterprise Fund. You could ask someone, do you have a company? And they're like, what is a company? What do I need to have a company? You know, some of these things, they may look so normal to some of us who have been, maybe we've come to this other part of the world whereby we actually get access to a number of information. But what about that young person from that remote village? If you talk to him about an AGPO, does he or she knows about AGPO? Talk to him about taking a loan and doing a contract and being paid on time. I mean, those are some of the things we need to tell our young people. Yes, we need to inform them. The earlier, the better. And for those young leaders who are, like you just mentioned, that Nandi is a hotbed of young leaders, it is because those guys were prepared. I remember a number of them. There is even an MCA from Nandi Hills. The guy was a member of the Youth Bunge by then. It was a vibrant group immediately after the post-election violence. So when those opportunities came, they were the guys who were ready to take up those positions. And we are simply saying, we are actually building a movement of prepared minds, so that when these things comes on our way, we have to take them. Yes.
Quite powerful submissions there by Kibor Michael. These are young people from Nandi County. For those who are just joining us, this is the Morning Glory Show, Monday edition, politics, law, and governance. And with us in studio today is Kibor Michael. He's a young person from Nandi County, part of a group called Youth For Impact Nandi. Also, we have the presence of Juddy Chebet. She's also a young person and an official in the same group. They're just trying to help us understand why they came together. On Saturday, they had a very beautiful event where they met almost 100 young people to just discuss matters that deal with youth. And actually, as they just put it, actually, Nandi County is a hotbed of young leaders. Now, Juddy, do you feel any difference? Because you've been to counties where maybe they've not adopted the idea of having young leaders, leaders of this particular generation, in terms of service delivery, in terms of good environment to do business and to grow. Would you say that Nandi is doing better because it has young leaders, or what do you feel needs to be fixed if maybe there's still some laxity?
Okay, for Nandi County, there is still some laxity. There is a group of people who are more informed and they've grabbed the opportunities. Then we have the totally uninformed people, and those are the people we are trying to reach them out. As my colleague just said, opportunities favors the prepared. So who is going to take care of those who are not prepared? Who is going to jumpstart those people who they don't know there are such opportunities? How many people in Nandi County know about the CIDP? How many people in Nandi County know about the many opportunities that are offered at a national level? How many people in Nandi County completed school and went back to the villages? How many people have ventured in agriculture and technology? That is why we as Nandi County, we wouldn't want to have a comparison of where are we. We want the whole of us to succeed, and we want the whole of Nandi County to get empowered. That is why we still urge our leaders who are already up, let them come back. Let them have these talks at a ground level. Let them meet us. Let them look for us, the young people, who to some point we have no direction. Yes. To some point we don't know how those opportunities might reach our hands. So we just want a Nandi County that will not compare us with others, but will make the best out of Nandi. We want a county that will have a benchmark from other counties.
And of course, we shall be coming to the strategies that you'll be using to make sure that you achieve this. Of course, I'll be going back to Kibor Michael, but then before I give you that opportunity, just to remind my viewers, is that we are coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is situated in Eldoret at a place called Zion Mall. So if you're in Eldoret and you need to take photos, this is a very family-friendly studio. Pass by and make sure that you get an opportunity to walk away with the very beautiful memories of this particular day. Now, just a quick one, Kibor. Let me just read something for you here. There's somebody I follow so much, somebody who is so vocal on matters that touch on leadership. And this is what they wrote. Is a friend of mine. He's called Kipkemboi Kimurgor Koech on Facebook. And I won't read the whole post, but at some point he says, Nandi County is my estimation. Has the most significant number of foundations and related community-based organizations per capita in the North Rift. He says, foundations and C.B.Os thrives where there is need for better governance. Do you mean that, because actually, in my own survey also, you notice that Nandi County has a lot of C.B.Os and organizations. You'd go to almost every ward and there's people agitating for better governance. Is this the only way we can go through? I think we just came from an election. Why do we have so many C.B.Os in Nandi County?
A good number of C.B.Os and foundations and those groups should not be taken out of context. Because when we come together and form C.B.Os and any other organizations, we are simply non-state actors that we want to operate and work with the government. You know, there is no wrangles between the C.B.Os and the government. We need each other to coexist. Yes. So it is actually more of a one. It means Kenyans, especially in Nandi County, have taken up the challenge that you cannot operate as an individual. You will always operate as a team, right? And that is why when you see those a number of there is mushrooming of C.B.Os, groups, and those organizations, simply tells you that okay, there is this information of that you cannot operate alone. You need to work as a team. So that is why we come together and then we advocate for whatever objective that we picked. Like you'll find, and mostly, a different C.B.O. try to champion for a different objective. Not all of them have the same objective. Like for Nandi now, we have so many C.B.Os. But I think one or two are actually part of the civil society network in terms of they do a lot of advocacy and some sort of checking on the government, which is allowed. That is, maybe they also do the social audit, which is allowed. I think it is one or two. Most of them are for women, for the young people, for the PWDs. So it is a clear indication that on matters grouping, registration of groups and societies, Nandi is a bit informed. Maybe some information is missing. That is why these groups are still coming up actually to pass that information to the people.
There is a gap. You would agree that there is maybe a gap that needs to be filled?
Yes, correct. And then there is something that she said on our leaders. And let me toss this challenge to our leaders. Not in Nandi, not in Osingishu, but the entire North Rift. The other week, we got a chance to attend all the functions in Nyeri County, that is Kieni constituency. We were about 50 of us. Of course, a few people from Nandi and Osingishu were also in attendance. There is something I realized in person. When we started the meeting, it looked so boring, like there is no leader who is attending, and so on. But immediately after 20 minutes, the entire leadership was there. They were there for the whole day. They were seated there taking notes and listening to the young people. And like in our area whereby there is a lot of excitement with leaders, you know. I remember the other day when we were having that event. You could invite leaders, but no one attends. But we are so grateful for those who really came and supported us. And I'll take this time because you've given me a chance. I'll have to say thank you to our women rep, Cynthia Muge, who really came up and supported us. Our MP, Paul Kibichi, that is Polo. Polo really showed some support for us, and we have to say thank you. But a very important part is we need their presence. Yes, we need their presence. They need to come on the ground and listen to us. And on the ground, we mean those forums. Those are the ground. Yes. So imagine a situation whereby we have more than 80 young people. Maybe 25% from diaspora. They are there. There are no leaders to listen to them. What do you mean? The young people are actually the majority in terms of population of every society, right? So when young people come together, the leadership of the day need to support them. Yes. Like they don't have any other option. They have to work with the young people and support the young people. That is all they have to do. Yes.
Wow. That's all they have to do. Just be there for us and we shall be fine. Now, this is the Morning Glory Show coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. As we continue, we'd want to look at now the strategies that you're going to use to ensure that you achieve the objectives that you have. You've clearly named all the objectives. Maybe you've mentioned climate change. It's something that needs action just beyond you people. You've talked about matters of governance. These are things that must really, as you say, it must invoke unity for purpose. What strategies do you have to make sure that you pull together not only the youth, but then also pull together all the concerned institutions to make sure that at least the impact that you would love to have is achieved? I'll be shooting this to Judy.
Okay, thank you, Kalia. Before I continue to the strategies, I would like to top up on the question you've asked on the number of C.B.Os in Nandi County. I think it matters less if we have as many C.B.Os or organizations as possible. It is until we achieve that good governance. If we have a bad governance, but youths are trying out, they are trying to create C.B.Os, they are trying to come together, they are trying to agitate for anything, that should not matter at all. The number of C.B.Os is a zero, it has a zero, it less affects the level, the leadership that we are getting. If at all we have a bad governance and we decide that for this, we'll have to come up and ask, why are things this way? Why is this one not adding up? Why were we not involved in the budgeting process? Why were we not told of a certain opportunity? Or why is there no youth in a certain position? So the number of C.B.Os should not matter. It depends on the strength of that C.B.O. It also depends on who or what are the C.B.Os pushing for. When we were attending the meeting on Saturday, we had several people from different C.B.Os. We had over 20 organizations and C.B.Os that are running in Nandi County. Are they active? What are they agitating for? So for Kimurgor, I think the number of C.B.Os rising in Nandi County matters less. Let us agitate. There is something called trial. We try as the Youth for Impact. Another C.B.O is trying. All are for the good of we the youths. There is nothing deviating from that. So the number of C.B.Os that are coming up, we even encourage others to come up more. We have schools to give sanitary towels. We have those to do cleanups. We have those for GBV. Let people come up with more C.B.Os. Let the Youth for Impact Nandi County not be the last C.B.O. If it sums up to 500, well and good. Everything's for youth.
Good of Nandi County.
Yes.
And of course, I may not want to go deep into discussing that comment. It was just maybe asking, is it because maybe we are not getting the right kind of leadership that we're seeing a lot of foundations and C.B.Os coming up? And of course, it is a matter of concern nonetheless, because whenever you see a lot of agitation from organizations that are non-governmental, it means there's a gap automatically. There's something you're saying.
Okay, on the strategies, we are using as many strategies as possible. We are using social media platforms. We are doing meetings. We are using our leaders. We are using everything that is possible to reach out that young person. If it involves going to villages, we are doing so. It is an organization that deals with the whole of Nandi County. For a start, we did Chesume. It was a good turn-up because we had up to 80 participants. Giving it a start, it was the best. So we are trying to reach out those youths. The next time we'll go to another sub-county, the other time another sub-county, and then we'll start breaking down our objectives, doing one at a time. Going to environmental conservation, we do tree planting. Every other meeting we'll have to plant trees, because we are also trying to achieve the planting of 15 billion trees by 2032. So the next time we'll deal purely with mental health. The other time we deal with any other thing. We are also asking for avenues In case there is an avenue where youths are required, our people will have to attend it. We are asking all youths to accompany us. We are asking them to be part of us. It is less, but a gain of knowledge. It is nothing of agitation. It is nothing of harm. It is not fighting the government. We are just meeting for a goodwill. We also want people to sprout from our organization. We want a lot of us. We are looking forward to a situation where everyone from the Youth for Impact will be saying, now, I've learned a lot from you people. I've visited a lot of places, and I believe I can now lead. That is our main purpose. We want to nurture every soul. Every soul that comes in, we nurture. Every talent that comes up, we nurture. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And going back to now the issues that have arisen in Nandi County. This morning, listening to news, you'd realize that Nandi County is one of those counties that has the highest number of teenage pregnancies. 5,000 teens, according to a survey done recently, shows that 5,000 teens are pregnant. When we sat for the KCP examination, 55 kids in Nandi County were pregnant. These are kids. What's happening in Nandi County, my brother Kibor?
Those statistics are actually, it is so saddening to hear that. And actually, I know Nandi County is among the top five. Top five. I believe Bungoma is one of them. But the reason to this is only one, according to me. There's a program that I really participated with, Marriage Stops Kenya. And it happened that it is because of information. The necessary information has not been disseminated to that young lady at the ground. What do I mean? The sexual consent age in Kenya is 18 years, right? 2, Nandi County is a reserved county. I know most of us may not agree with me, but that is the reality. And
would you say Nandi is marginalized somehow?
Not really, not really. Reserved in terms of we Africans and our beliefs, you cannot find a father figure in a family speaking to a young lady about the issue of sex and taking contraceptives and pregnancy. It feels like a taboo, We come from the same setup with you and maybe Juddy. At 12 years old, 13 years old, it's only a few families who can manage to talk to their young ones. Those are the ladies, about the effects of early sex or maybe engaging in sexual intercourse, Nobody wants to talk about the contraceptives issue. That is why the other day during the World Condom Day, they were talking about the condomize. But who is willing to talk to her daughter at the age of 12 about condomizing? A few people can do that, right? I remember in that forum I said so well that 70% or maybe 75% or whatever content the young people consume. The young people now, I'm talking about those early pregnancies, the 12, 15, 16, 17. They're actually the electronic media content. Yes. They watch them on TV, on phones. The 25% is now the parental, right? It means also the parent, they don't have a lot of time with their kids. So it is also a challenge to the parent. You need to take up the challenge. Be with your kids. Spend some time with them. Talk to them about the sexual information. Tell them what is happening with their bodies. The earlier, the better. As I say, nothing beats information. Because if that kid could be having information about pregnancy, contraceptives, to us, for example, I remember, if you tell an African parent, especially from my area, that you can do an implant to a 12-year-old daughter, it feels weird. But at the end of the day, that is what is happening. You know, if you care so much about that young lady, you can as well do contraceptives. It is allowed. Yes, there is no law that actually prohibits that. It is allowed. So what we need to do is we need to up our game, take that real information to the young people and tell them what is happening to their bodies at that early stage, and what can really happen if they actually indulge in sex. Yes.
So it is a matter of information.
Information. Yes.
Of course, you said something about maybe contraception. It is a hot issue. It is an issue that I would say even the government itself is having issues when it comes to the adults. And maybe I don't know how easy that would be to penetrate in terms of even now bringing it to maybe the younger generation. Maybe it's a discussion we need to have in a future conversation. Nonetheless, this is the Morning Glory Show coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography, as I told you, is one of the best studios in town. Do you have a family and you're thinking of a place that you can take nice photos? Consider walking into Dawi Afrique Photography. But then just before you walk into Dawi Afrique Photography, then there is a place that you can visit to make sure that you dress to be addressed. Pass by this square, make sure that you get a nice shirt just like mine. So you come a look inaonekana wanaona look. Okay, so also now, if you know any young person who is interested in fashion and design, then you really don't have to go to the city. I mean, Nairobi. Very soon, Eldoret will be a city. But then you don't have to go to the capital city of Kenya for you to learn fashion and design. You can learn it here in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County. This square now have a fashion and design school. We have this square school of fashion design based in Eldoret, KTS building, 4th floor. Walk into this square, make sure that you are able to learn. If you're interested in fashion, of course, the sweetness of learning at this square is that there is a fashion house next to it. So that means that you learn as you do it practically. So anytime you feel like maybe you're interested in fashion, then walk into this square. If you also need to dress to be addressed, this square fashion house is able to sort you out. Sampling some of the comments that are coming in, somebody we call Nema says, I think boys should be educated on sexual information so that they can give information to the girls who don't have the information. Okay, I don't know how that works out. But dear Kipchirchir says, following the show, making sense, Uongozi. Kims Levin says, good morning. Good morning to you, Kims. Max Eugene say hi to our panelists. Both are my friends and really the right people for today's topic. I'm personally of the view that current government has a place for the youth. For the first time, we see the youth being appointed to key government positions. Now, this is a long one. My advice to the fellow youth is that we should consider going to school, get professional skills so that we can easily qualify for government positions after campaigning for these leaders. I've seen many youths failing to be part of government they fought for due to the lack of qualifications, thus making us feel like they were only used for campaigns and left out in government. Anyway, this is our time. We have enough. Anasema sisi ndio viongozi wa kesho, imefika sasa kesho. So anasema let's rise up as the youth. That was a long one, and it's actually brought out a very pertinent issue. Kibor, you've mentioned that youth are only used during campaigns, and when it reaches appointments, they are left out. But Max is giving a different dimensions. He says that youth lack information, that youth also, some of them really fight hard, but have not taken the education maybe just beyond a certain level. So when it comes to the appointments, then they miss out and feel used. What do you think about that perception?
Yes, there is some sort of reality. When it comes to campaigns, if today I want to vie for any political seat, number one, I need to use the border guys, you know. That's the reality. Okay? Two, I need bloggers. I mean, you don't have anyone who is 50 years plus doing blogging. They are the young people. Yes? They are vibrant. They are energetic. They are versatile. That is why they are needed for such an activity. Yes. If the cause is political, we need the young people for that. Now, the reality normally hits. You become an MP. And you need some guys to work in your office. You need to link up some guys to employment opportunities. What are you supposed to do? You check on your immediate campaign
team.
Ule jamaa social media alikuaje? What is your qualification? Hata huyu jamaa ni mzuri pale social media lakini aliwacheck class 7. So what are you going to do? That is why we are saying when we are doing all these, at least let us have something behind the curtains. So that when that opportunity comes, you only pull the card. You know, you pull the right card. You know, when you are playing those cards, there's always that remaining one card that you normally have. So after doing everything, there's always the last one that you place. But I don't want to believe that most of our youth are actually uneducated. The largest group that is educated in the society today are the young people. So to me, the reality is we are normally used so much when it comes to campaigning, yes. And then when it comes to employment, they want to look for those people who have a lot of experience. You cannot be advertising a job and telling us you need someone who has got 10 years experience. And all through the campaigns, you are working with people who had zero experience in campaigning, who had zero campaigns, who had actually zero experience in using Facebook, social media campaigns, you know, doing the PA and going to the ground and campaigning. And that is why I remember the immediate nominated MP, Gideon Keter, was advocating for the removal of these so many requirements, you know. Yes, but these experience things should be removed. Because I think when you're asking us to do the campaigns, you don't ask us if we have any experience in doing campaigns. You don't ask us if we have any experience in throwing those insults on social media. You don't ask for any experience when it comes to countering your opponent, right? So let us have an equal platform. Yes, if you are capable, right?
Okay. Actually, when you talk about experience, I saw the other day there is a company looking for an IT guru, and they were saying that they need somebody who is has 1 year experience in chat GPT. Now, it's only been around for 4 months, and somebody is looking for somebody who has 1 year experience. So I don't know what is the obsession with these qualifications. Anyway, now, as we come to the tail part of this, of course, we're trying now to look at the resolution bit of it. We've agreed that there are a lot of organizations in Nandi. How different will Youth for Impact Nandi be? We also agree, of course, Judy, I'll be shooting this to you. We also agree that maybe we are still a little bit behind, or the county is still a little bit behind when it comes to issues of governance and issues of information to the young people. Now, you've mentioned your strategies, but then how different will you do it? How long will it take? How much effort will you need? And on top of it, where do you expect to get the funding to do all this?
Thank you. The Youth for Impact, as I said before, it is a convergence of all youths. For one, we have no limitation in joining us. As much as you are a youth, you are part of us. You are free to join us. You are free to do all the activities we do. You are just free and welcomed in our organization. On how different we are going to do everything, we want to be proactive. You might have a C.B.O or any foundation, but it exists as a name. There is no activity, there is nothing on board, there is no achievement. So for us, we hope to do an activity every month. Every other month, we'll be doing an activity. So far, we've not received funding apart from the support, especially for the meeting we had, from our leaders. Now that you've said most of our leaders are youths in Nandi County, we still expect them to support us. Because I can't find a reason why a leader, a fellow youth, cannot run this organization. We are also hoping to have the same leaders in our conversations. We hope they'll also be part of us. This is not limited to youths only. The youths without titles, but also the youths who are leaders. So our organization welcomes on board all the leaders you've mentioned that are young like us. So about the funding, it is a goodwill thing. We don't hope to use a lot of money. We are not going to do those to be big. We are doing what is within our reach. If it is planting trees, any youth of a goodwill can bring up a tree. We do the planting. If it is a meeting or something, it is the goodwill within us that will run our organization. So we are not going to be so much into money, into budgeting, into what. We do what is within our reach. If we've been able to cover a certain area, that is the only area we'll cover. We'll not train so much, because this is something we are doing for a purpose. We are doing to build up. We are doing to. It is more of scouting. If most of you are informed about scouting is a goodwill thing, service to the community. Now that we are a speak up group, now that we are give back to the society group, now that we are a group that is holding each other's hand, we hope to hold each person's hand and we go ahead pamoja. So funding bit, it might not be as cumbersome as we are looking at it. Yes. And then I think that is all about funding and how different. The difference is the aggressiveness. The difference is the activities we are going to do. An activity a month, or even 2 activities in a month for those good days. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Of course, I can see clearly Kibor has something to say. He's almost standing up. He's almost standing up and actually you'd have to do it as also you give us your parting shot, because I'm already getting warnings that time is already maybe not on our side. So Kibor, as you give that point that is actually really pricking you, also maybe give us your parting shot.
Kumboliona nilikuwa nawashwa.
Karibu ruke juu ya kiti.
Juddy has said so well. Now, what is unique about us is the fact that we are prepared. We are energetic. We have all the energies needed for this. Now, it is my prayer. It is an individual prayer that all those C.B.Os in Nandi, the foundations you just mentioned, the groups, that one day they will come together under one umbrella and then forge for something very unique. You know, we will achieve a lot when we are together than achieving those small things at an individual level. You know, there's a lot of things that normally comes with unity. As the president normally says, we are a group on a mission. Yes. We are a group on a mission, and we are dedicated to this. On funding, we are calling upon the well-wishers, but it is my prayer. And I told whoever came to the meeting, who was actually representing the Member of Parliament for Chesumei and the women rep, I told them so well. We don't want to follow this route whereby whenever we're having an event, we have to be making calls to your office. Kindly support us. You know, it is a bad manner thing. Okay, for example, with NGAF. NGAF, when you apply for any funding, when you get a funding, you'll get it only for 1 year, and it is done, you know. We cannot be having 100 functions in a year and calling Mheshimiwa those 100 times, you know. For CDF, if they can have an advocacy programs allocation, it will be better. So that if Youth For Impact Nandi can apply that money and get it, it is once in a year, you know. So that we keep off the phone ya Mheshimiwa kila wakati simu took on a function, you know. Let us actually avoid those things. And we are challenging mostly the MPs. The MPs should have an allocation for youth advocacy programs, a budget for it. It will be so well. A challenge to the young people of Nandi. I remember there's a time I attended a public participation in my home area. Unfortunately, we were like 12 of us who came there. It was during the CIDP. That was in the year 2017. Now, I just imagine, out of 100,000 population, 100,000 plus in our constituency, only 12 came, right? So these 12, they're supposed to tell the government what to do for the people. So mimi nikikuja na niseme kwetu mtujenge choo, right? Kesho akijenga choo, you want to stand up and complain kwamba hatutaki choo, nda kisima. And they were, when they were calling for a PP, you are not there. So it is a challenge to the young people. You may not attend it so physically. You can do a memorandum, do your proposals. It is allowed, you know. So before we complain, it is always take up the challenge always to give your input. Ndio kesho ndio serikali ikitengeneza barabara, usisema hapana, mimi hata sikuwa nataka hiyo. Nilikuwa nataka watujenge border shade, for example. But it was not there in the plan. Every government operates on a plan. I'm not defending them. But that's a reality. Let us take our space when it comes to matters leadership and governance. I want to say that it is an apology actually from our side. One of our members was supposed to be here, Chebet, but she couldn't make it. She wasn't feeling well. So kindly receive our apologies. And to the great people of Nandi and the entire North Rift, the young people, let us champion for whatever we believe in. Let us occupy the right spaces. Yes. This is our time. There is no another time. The earlier the better.
Okay, thank you so much. Your parting shot, Judy.
Thank you, Kalia. My parting shot is we have the best now.
Okay, look at this camera as you give your parting shot.
Okay. This is the best time we have. We have no other best. This is the best of the best. It is the only opportunity where we can do whatever is in our reach. Kesho ukifika 35 or there above, there is nothing you can tell a youth. That is somebody else's space. So this is the best, and we as the youths, I believe, by coming together, great things happen. There are challenges, but those challenges are meant to strengthen us. We note that sasa hatujaandikwa kazi kama youths. So what are we doing? What is our value? No. And people, let's do papers. Let us go back to school. Even as you campaign for those politicians, ensure you have your papers. So that kesho mkifanya inaitwaje? Kesho wakisema wana appoint, you pull your papers. We don't want to deal with post-election stresses, depressions, or mental health issues, and also the running up and down of waheshimiwa nisaidie hii, waheshimiwa nisaidie hii. Also for our leaders, we are supporting you. We supported you before and we are still supporting you. We just hope that you place us on table. Yes, let us be your first priority because we are the ones to hold your mantle. We are the ones to take after you. So hold us, have us in mind. Also have those priorities. Take us to the national level. The youths need money, they need space, they need connections, they need everything. Everything that is prime in life is what we as youths need. So help us as the youths, and every youth in Nandi County. We hope that you are going to join us as the Youth for Impact in 1 or 2 events. Just join us. We are on a course, and we know there are best days, there are bad days, but all of them, we hope that you'll achieve whatever is meant for us. We also look forward to a future that is well educated, a future whereby a youth knows everything and maneuvers through every other place easily. So also the youths, take up all the opportunities that come on board. Use those social media platforms not for politicking alone. Use the social media platforms also to learn more. There are many things to learn. There are free courses. There are many things. They are developing things. Technology is taking up, and we wouldn't want to be left behind. So thank you so much. The Youth for Impact Nandi welcomes all youths on board.
Okay, thank you so much for making time to be with us. With us in studio was Kibor, Michael, and Judy Chebet. They are members of a C.B.O called Youth For Impact Nandi, just bringing young people together to foster good governance among many other goals that they have. Professor P.L.O. Lumumba in one of his speeches says, you can be at the table as two things. One, as the one who is eating, or as the waiter. And the choice is yours. In addition to it, I'll challenge you with a story that I was told yesterday while attending a meeting of a different C.B.O. That actually, if you observed the Hindu community, they live together, they stay together, they do everything together, and you wouldn't point out that huyu ni maskini, huyu ni tajiri, and all that. Big challenge is most of the things we do, and I'll use an example of a hospital like MTRH. You notice that the people, if you look at Youth For Africa, these are segments within the hospital. You talk about mother and baby and all that. These are things and facilities that are built by donors, and most of these donors are white people. The challenge is, what are we doing as black people to empower our communities? Why is it that most of the programs that empower the black people is money that comes from other continents? The challenge is, and this goes to all the young people and all those who are watching, what are you doing as a local, as a person who maybe has some little bit of information and from time to time resources to make sure that your community and your society is more empowered? Of course, nimesema kama unataka luku, consider walking into this square fashion house, and also if you need to learn how to do fashion, then this square school of fashion design is the place to visit. This broadcast has been coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. This is the Morning Glory Show. It is the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya online today. Tomorrow being Tuesday, we'll be doing the Expert Tuesday. We'll have some guests from the ASK, that's the Agricultural Society of Kenya, to just learn a little bit about the show, the Eldoret National Show that is coming up in a few days. So till then, see you. My name is MC Kalia.